Google Pixel 9 promises to be the smartest Android phone on the planet. Either we have finally reached smartphone endgame, or we are paying premium prices to be unpaid beta testers again. On paper, it sounds insane. New Tensor chip with beefed-up AI, a buttery 120Hz OLED display, upgraded camera sensors with wild computational tricks, plus 7 years of software updates. Sounds like tech paradise, right? But here is the thing. The gap between marketing slides and real life is huge. I have daily driven the Pixel 9 for 2 solid weeks as my primary phone, side by side with a Pixel 8 Pro and a Galaxy S24. I have put the direct link to check current pricing in the description. But before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after actually living with this thing. The Pixel 9 is marketed as your all-in-one smart assistant in your pocket. Google says this phone will take DSLR-level photos with almost zero effort, use on-device AI to summarize calls, fix photos, and organize your life, deliver all-day battery life with smart power management, stay fast and secure for up to 7 years of updates. Pretty bold claims for a slab of glass and silicon. On the surface, it looks like a no-brainer upgrade. Cleaner design, smarter software, and more future-proof than most Android phones. But here is where things get interesting once you stop reading the spec sheet and actually start using it. Let us start with the camera because that is the headline feature. They claim this is basically point, shoot, and magic happens. What you actually get is mostly amazing photos with some weird AI baggage. In good light, pictures are sharp, colorful, and honestly among the best in any phone. But reality check. When you start using all the fancy AI tools like Magic Editor and Object Removal, it can go from wow to what happened really fast. I had shots where the background looked slightly warped or fingers blurred in a way that feels off. If you are casually posting to social media, it is fine. But if you care about natural photos, the processing can be too aggressive, pushing saturation and sharpening to the edge. Next claim, AI everywhere all the time. Live call summaries, instant transcription, smart reply suggestions, Gemini-powered features baked into messaging and photos. Sounds futuristic. What you actually get is a mixed bag. Some of it is genuinely useful. Call screening is still the best in the game. Voice typing is stupidly good, and on-device transcription is fast. But here is where it gets mathematically impossible for the hype to be 100% real. A lot of those wow features still lean on the cloud, meaning latency and privacy trade-offs. And when the network is weak, the smart stuff turns kind of dumb. I had multiple moments where the AI summaries just spun or produced something hilariously off, which reminds you this is not magic, it is machine guessing. Then there is performance. On paper, that new Tensor chip promises better efficiency, better thermals, and console-like graphics. Let us be real here. In everyday use, scrolling, email, socials, it feels smooth, especially with the 120Hz display finally standard. But push it with heavy gaming or 4K video recording, and you will see the plot twist. Heat. After about 15 to 20 minutes of intensive gaming, the phone warmed up enough that you could feel performance dip and frame rates drop. That is not catastrophic, but it is not matching the best Snapdragon or Apple chips either. They claim flagship power. What you actually get is upper-mid flagship performance with some thermal throttling when stressed. Battery life is another fun one. The marketing line is clearly all-day battery with smart optimization. In reality, with mixed use, some camera, some YouTube, social media, Bluetooth earbuds, and 5G on, I was landing around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time. That is fine. It is not criminally bad, but it is also not the battery beast some people expect at this price. And here is where it gets interesting for that 7-year update promise. Software will keep getting heavier, AI features will grow, and this same battery has to carry you years down the line. The math on long-term performance is optimistic. Finally, connectivity. Pixels historically have had sketchy moments with signal and modems. The Pixel 9 is better than older models, but I still had random 5G drops in fringe areas where my Galaxy held a more stable signal. That is the kind of annoyance you will not see on a spec sheet, but you will absolutely feel when maps buffer and videos drop quality. Sound quality and speakers. The speakers are loud and reasonably clear, with decent stereo separation. Watching videos is enjoyable, but side by side with something like a Galaxy S24 Ultra, you notice thinner bass and a slightly harsher top end. What nobody really tells you is that at max volume, there is a faint buzz or vibration from the frame on certain tracks. Not a deal breaker, but not premium tier either. Battery life and charging. In my testing, charging from near dead to 50% took a bit over 30 minutes with a compatible fast charger, and a full charge was close to an hour and 15. That is okay, but when other brands are pushing much faster recharge, Pixels start to feel like they are playing it a bit too safe. Wireless charging works, but it is nothing special. The missing piece the marketing does not shout about. No charger in the box, and over years of use that battery plus slowish charging starts to feel like tech roulette. Build and display. The build feels solid, with that familiar Pixel matte glass and aluminum frame. The display is bright, colorful, and finally smooth at 120 Hz across the board. Outdoor visibility is strong, but in direct harsh sunlight it still struggles just a bit compared to the brightest Samsung panels I have tested. Durability-wise, Gorilla Glass helps, but early user reports and some forum posts are already talking about micro scratches if you run it naked. So yeah, case and screen protector are basically mandatory. Software and updates. 7 years of OS and security updates is the headline brag. On paper, that is criminally generous. But here is what nobody tells you. Long support only matters if performance and battery keep up. Pixels get features first, but they also get bugs first. I saw a couple of random UI glitches and one full reboot during my testing. That is the cost of living on the cutting edge of Google's software experiments. So, verdict time. Should you buy the Pixel 9 or skip it? The honest answer. Recommended, but with caution. If you care about camera quality, smart assistant features, and clean Android with long support, this is one of the most interesting phones you can get. The photos are mostly fantastic. The AI tools can genuinely save time, and 7 years of updates is serious value. But if you are a heavy gamer, live in a weak signal area, or you hate the idea of your photos being AI massaged by default, this might not be your dream phone. And if you already have a Pixel 8 or another recent flagship, the jump is more like a refinement than a revolution. I would say it is worth it if you are coming from a Pixel 6 era phone or older, or any mid-range device. Everyone else should think hard before dropping flagship money. Stay savage out there, and do not buy the hype without the receipts. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I have put the link to check current pricing and read more real user reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these deep dive investigations without costing you extra. Hit like if you want more brutally honest reviews. Drop your questions or your own Pixel 9 experience in the comments. And subscribe, because next I am putting this head-to-head with its biggest Android rival. This is your No BS Tech Breakdown, signing off.